relatively close, it would put more pressure on Putin to show up. Let's bring in Paul Rieckhoff, the host of the Independent Americans podcast, co-founder of American Veterans for Ukraine. The president's kind of hinted at maybe just kind of popping in on these talks. So what do you think tomorrow?
It's not uncommon when a president does an overseas trip to do a surprise stop. You know, during Iraq and Afghanistan, the president would often surprise the troops and show up in Iraq and Afghanistan and sometimes announce things. I think it's a real opportunity for a breakthrough on Ukraine. I mean, that's what it sounds like. If we can get the three of them in a room talking and Trump can broker that, that has an opportunity to be a true breakthrough. What they actually are able to negotiate, we'll see. But it also could be another head fake from Putin, which he's done before, kind of luring the world into a conversation while he continues to bomb civilians. So if they can walk away with just a ceasefire or a cessation of the attacks on Ukraine, I think that would be a huge step forward for Ukraine and for world peace.
But none of this three-day nonsense, right, that Putin threw out there, to your point, and continued the bombing. And, you know, 30 days, at least you can have a conversation if he sticks to it. But that's an open question.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't stuck to anything so far, and Russia hasn't given up anything so far. Even around Easter, when they were supposed to stop bombing, they continued bombing. They continued drone attacks. They continue to hold 19,000 Ukrainian children. So I think the real pressure point here is, can Trump get Putin to give anything up? Can he get him to stop anything? And if he can, that's a massive opportunity for the world, for Ukraine, and for Trump to score a victory on something he's been saying he was going to score a victory on in the first 24 hours and has eluded him so far.
Well, you talk about scoring victories. You know, I've noted this the last couple of days, and again, someone, I think it was Mick Mulvaney, pointed out the president probably doesn't care much about approval ratings because he's not running again. But his approval rating the last couple of weeks, 2 weeks in a row, has just been inching up after a tough stretch, right? And he's had some, what he would consider to be successes, like putting points on the board, they like to say in politics. What about this trip that he's on right now? What would you say about that?
He wants wins. I mean, he always wants wins. He said that to his team before in the previous administration. He wants consistent wins. This Boeing announcement is going to appear to be a win for him and for the American market, coming off yesterday, which was a really bad press day when he said he was going to accept an Air Force One replacement from Qatar. So if he can walk out of there with the Boeing deal, with some kind of progress, any progress on Ukraine, then it's a successful trip overall.
We talked about that plane a little bit yesterday. It won't belabor the point on it, but I do think it's worth pointing out the Air Force One situation where they're going to gift the plane. The president's the one who keeps bringing it up, and I wonder about that. The TV interview brought it up. It's his post. We can put it up from social media, Truth Social, I guess, where he's up kind of in the middle of the night, local time, going on about it. This Boeing 747 is being given to the United States Air Force, defending it and saying it's not being given to me. It's a gift from the nation. But he's the one that keeps bringing it up.
There's the old saying in politics, if you're explaining, you're losing. And I think it feels like he's digging himself in deeper on something that is really unpopular with Republicans. I mean, this is something that reeks of corruption. It reeks of quid pro quo. It's very un-American. American presidents don't accept this kind of stuff. There's also the national security risks of potentially accepting a giant plane that we have to debug and remove surveillance stuff from, and questions around whether or not we will share with the Qataris the defense systems. You've basically got a flying Oval Office, right, with all the national security elements. So it's a mess. It's not good for his approval rating. It's not winning him support from independents or Republicans. And the sooner he gets off it, and I think reverses it, then he can focus on the Boeing deal, Ukraine, and other things.
Which is the news of today. Always good to see you, Paul. We're going to run now. Paul Rieckhoff, still to come.